Hiking is a wonderful way to connect with nature, explore beautiful landscapes, and enjoy some physical activity. However, it's important to remember that hiking trails are shared spaces, and how you behave on the trail can impact the experience of others as well as the natural environment. By following some basic rules of hiking etiquette, you can ensure a positive experience for yourself, fellow hikers, and the wildlife that calls these trails home. In this video, we'll cover the 10 essential rules of hiking etiquette. These guidelines will help you understand how to navigate the trail, interact with other hikers, and minimize your impact on nature. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned hiker, following these etiquette rules will make the trails more enjoyable and accessible for everyone. 1. Staying on the trail. One of the most important rules of hiking is to stay on marked trails. Wandering off the trail may seem harmless, but it can cause damage to vegetation and wildlife habitats. Trails are designed to minimize environmental impact, and sticking to them helps preserve the natural beauty for future hikers. Why it matters and why you should do it. Erosion prevention. Walking off trail can lead to soil erosion, which damages the ecosystem. Safety. Staying on the trail reduces the risk of getting lost or encountering hazardous terrain. Our tip. If the trail is muddy or obstructed, walk through the mud or around the obstruction, but avoid creating a new path. 2. Yield to others on the trail. Hiking trails can vary from wide paths to narrow single tracks, and you may encounter other hikers, runners, mountain bikers, or even horses. Knowing the proper yielding etiquette can make these encounters smoother. General yielding rules. Uphill versus downhill. Hikers going uphill have the right of way. They have a limited line of sight and momentum, making it harder for them to stop and move to the side. Hikers versus mountain bikers. Mountain bikers should yield to hikers. However, be courteous and step aside if it's easier for you to do so, especially on narrow paths. Horses. Always yield to horses as they can be easily startled. Step off the trail on the downhill side and give the horse ample space. Our tip. A friendly smile or a quick hello when yielding can help create a positive atmosphere on the trail. 3. Keep noise levels low. One of the joys of hiking is the peace and tranquility that nature offers. To preserve this experience, keep noise levels to a minimum. Loud music, shouting, or excessive noise can disrupt wildlife and annoy other hikers. Respect for nature and others. Wildlife impact. Loud noises can scare off wildlife, disrupting their natural behavior. Other hikers. Many people come to the trail for a sense of solitude and calm, and excessive noise can ruin that experience. Our tip. Use headphones if you want to listen to music or podcasts, and keep the volume low so you can still hear your surroundings. 4. Pack out all trash, leave no trace. The principle of leave no trace is at the heart of hiking etiquette. This means packing out everything you bring in, including food wrappers, water bottles, and any other trash. Don't assume someone else will pick it up for you. Food waste. Banana peels, orange peels, and other food scraps should not be left behind. Even though they are biodegradable, they don't decompose quickly and can attract wildlife. Toilet paper. Bring a sealable bag to pack out used toilet paper or sanitary products. Our tip. Carry a small trash bag in your backpack to store any litter you find along the way. You'll be helping keep the trails clean for everyone. 5. Respect the wildlife. Hiking allows you to observe wildlife in their natural habitat, but it's important to do so from a distance. Interacting with or feeding wildlife can harm both the animals and you. Do not feed animals. Feeding wildlife can make them dependent on human food and disrupt their natural foraging behavior. It can also make them aggressive towards people. Observe from a distance. Use binoculars or a zoom lens if you want a closer look at wildlife, but keep a respectful distance to avoid disturbing them. Our tip. Learn about the local wildlife before you hike, so you know what to expect and how to behave if you encounter certain animals. 6. Keep your dog under control. If you're hiking with a dog, it's essential to follow the rules and keep your pet under control. Many trails have specific regulations about dogs, including whether they need to be leashed. Leash your dog. On most trails, dogs should be kept on a leash. This prevents them from running off, disturbing wildlife, or bothering other hikers. Respect trail rules. Some trails may not allow dogs, while others have off-leash areas. Always check the trail's regulations before heading out. Pick up after your dog. Carry waste bags and pack out all dog waste to keep the trail clean. Our tip: if your dog is not friendly with other dogs or people, consider hiking during off-peak times or choosing less crowded trails. 7. Be considerate when taking breaks. When you need to take a break, be mindful of where you choose to stop. Blocking the trail can cause congestion and inconvenience other hikers. Choosing the right spot for your break. Avoid fragile areas. Don't take breaks on delicate vegetation or in areas that might easily erode. Our tip: if you're hiking with a group, find a spacious area off the trail where everyone can rest without blocking the path. 8. Control group size and manage large groups properly. Hiking with friends can be fun, but large groups can be disruptive to other trail users. If you're planning to hike with a big group, be mindful of how your presence impacts others. Managing group dynamics. Break into smaller groups. If you're with a large party, consider breaking into smaller groups to minimize the trail's impact. Yield more often. Be prepared to yield more frequently when encountering other hikers, especially if your group takes up a significant amount of space. Our tip: make arrangements in advance if you're bringing a large group, especially on popular or narrow trails. 9. Additional trail etiquette if passing others. Passing on a narrow trail can sometimes be tricky. Whether you're the one overtaking or being overtaken, using polite and clear communication makes the process smoother. Announce your approach. If you're coming up behind someone, give a polite "on your left" or "passing on your right" so they're aware of your presence. Give space. Step aside if someone wants to pass and let them go by without blocking the trail. Single file in narrow sections. If you're hiking with others, switch to single file when passing other hikers on narrow paths. Our tip: as we mentioned earlier, be friendly and acknowledge others when passing. A simple "hello" or "thank you" goes a long way in creating a positive trail environment. 10. Respect trail closures and rules. Trails and parks have rules and guidelines to ensure the safety of hikers and the protection of the environment. Respecting these rules is crucial. Safety. Trails may be closed due to hazardous conditions, maintenance, or to protect sensitive areas. Ignoring closures can put you at risk. Environmental protection. Some trails are closed to allow vegetation to recover or to prevent erosion. Respect these closures to help preserve the ecosystem. Our tip: check the park or trail's website or social media channels for any updates or closures before heading out. This will help you plan accordingly and avoid any issues. Enjoy the trails and respect the trails. Hiking is a shared activity that brings people closer to nature and each other. By following these 10 rules of hiking etiquette, you can contribute to a positive trail culture where everyone can enjoy the outdoors responsibly. Remember, being a responsible hiker isn't just about following the rules. It's about showing respect for the environment, other trail users, and the wildlife that calls these trails home. So next time you head out on a hike, keep these etiquette tips in mind and you'll be set for a safe, enjoyable, and respectful adventure.